Okay, and then my next video, part 2, is going to show you how to kind of go through some of these pink categories or the fringe categories and apply them to different lessons. And so let's start with our actions. Our actions, again, are going to be in green. So these kind of double as core words a little bit. These are our core words, but if we go to our actions, these are going to be more specific words that we can try to model. And so a lot of times I used our actions to decide what I want to do with kiddos. And so I asked them, what do you want to do today? We can eat, drink, play. And then this is, again, a 3x3 grid. And so usually I like to start kiddos off here unless they're showing that they can move very rapidly through different screens and intentionally select different buttons. And if they are doing that, if they're moving very fast, then I'm going to go to that edit button up there, page set, and I'm going to go to page set and grid size, and I'm going to change the grid size, and I'm going to bump it up a few notches up there. And so then it's going to change the whole grid set, which is only, like I said, if they are moving very quickly through different screens and showing intentional communication. And so then it's going to give you even larger set of core words. And so again, these are going to be our pronouns going down the left side, and then these are going to be our verbs. And so it gives you a wider selection of verbs to choose from. And then it gives you some of those indefinite articles in orange over here. So I want a pizza. And then we can press speak.
I want a pizza.
All the way up there. Sorry, you can't really see that. So that is going to show you how you can kind of change the grid size. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to go to page set. I'm going to go to grid size, and then I can make it 4x4 even. And so that's going to take it down a smaller notch. And so we still have our pronouns, we still have our core verbs, a few indefinite articles, and then we can still access some of these pink categories. And so looking at our actions again, I usually, like I said, use this for if they want to choose a different activity to play. And then let's say they chose, they want to play. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to our toys and games. And so then we make it more specific. And then maybe I say, oh, it looks like you want to play with some toys. What toys do we want to look at today? And then if they choose cars,
toy cars.
Let's say they select toy cars. Okay, then I can go back and then we can request different toy cars. We can model want more. We can make the car go fast. We can make it go slow. We can have it stop. We can have it go up and down. And then we can even make it more specific. It wants to go up fast. And then it wants to go on in between different cars, or maybe it wants to go out of the racetrack. And it has second, third, last, and these are just more options. Once we take it to the 4x4 grid, you will have even more options if you go to the page set again, grid size, and change it to a 7x9 grid. So then you're going to have all of the different descriptors and all of the different verbs on this page. And this is for kiddos who are very, very fast and within their planning. And then they can also use 3 to 4 word phrases together intentionally. And so usually I have kiddos who are just starting out. And so those kiddos are going to more so be on, grid size. Those kiddos are going to be more on the 3x3 grid or the 3x4 grid, just because I like to start out with those. I still want to give them options because we see that starting with high-tech communication and giving them lots of options to show that there's a large vocabulary to choose from is usually helpful and helping to kind of show language development on a more exponential scale. So it's good to start out with a lot of options versus just limiting kids to, let's say, a 2x2 grid. Usually I only have kiddos on a 2x2 grid or a really small grid like this if they have motor difficulties. So they're not able to really localize their finger to a button yet. And they're kind of just hypotonic or things like that. So that's really where I keep them at, but typically I do like to start them at a 3x4. And if they're showing, you know, great cognitive ability and that very fine motor ability to functionally put buttons together and make 3 to 4 word sentences, then I'm going to jump up to a 5x5 or even a 6x6 grid size for those kiddos who are making longer sentences, because you want to give them access to the most amount of communication possible. And then you can even go a step further, and I'll show you in part 3 about how to customize different buttons for kiddos.